Today, we're going to dive into something really special. We're looking at some fascinating centuries-old Japanese philosophies for managing your money. And if you're tired of those complicated spreadsheets or those super restrictive budgeting apps, then this is definitely for you. We're talking about a way more mindful and honestly, a more effective approach to your finances. I mean, let's be real for a second, right? Modern budgeting can totally burn you out. It feels so, cold and stressful. You've got these apps that track every single penny, and you'd think that would help. But it often just leaves us feeling disconnected from our own habits. So what's the alternative? Well, today we're going to explore a much more holistic way of thinking about and handling our money. So here's the 4 concepts we're going to dive into. The art of frugality. This is really the foundation for everything else, and it all starts with your mindset, how you think about money before a single dollar leaves your wallet. So this is where things get really fascinating. In Japanese, frugality isn't just one thing. It actually has 2 totally distinct flavors, Kenyaku and Setsuyaku. And you know what? Understanding the difference between them is the absolute key to this whole philosophy. One is about your lifestyle, and the other is about your action. So let's break down Kenyaku first. The best way to think about this is like it's your personal financial constitution, right? It's the big picture decision to live a frugal life. It's a conscious choice to spend less, not just on one thing, but as a whole lifestyle. It's your overall game plan for avoiding waste. And that brings us to Setsuyaku. See, if Kenyaku is the game plan, Setsuyaku is the actual play on the field. We're talking about using a coupon, snagging those discounted groceries right before the store closes, or even just flicking off the lights to save on the electric bill. These are all acts of Setsuyaku. It's how that big picture Kenyaku mindset actually shows up in your day-to-day life. So, putting the Kenyaku mindset into practice involves daily Setsuyaku actions. Here are some smart habits you can adopt. Smart shopping. Make a grocery list of what you actually need for the house. It helps you avoid impulse buys and keeps you from grabbing things you don't need. You'll also move through the store more quickly because you know exactly why you're there. Before you head out, check the store flyers or look for deals online. Making this a little ritual can really help you snag some great deals. Meal prep. Eating out is tempting because it's easy, but it's a habit that can really drain your wallet. Cooking at home is actually pretty simple if you have a plan, and it saves you money while helping you eat a bit healthier. Plan out a menu for the week, then take one day to prep everything and stick it in the fridge or freezer. Just move your meal to the fridge the night before and heat it up when you're ready to eat. When life gets busy, having a meal ready to go can be a total lifesaver. It takes a little discipline, sure, but doing a prep session over the weekend saves you so much time during the week and really takes the stress out of your daily routine. Saving on fixed expenses. Out of all the ways to save, looking at your fixed expenses usually makes the biggest impact. Go over your bills, check your credit card statement, and see exactly where your money's going. For example, I realized I was spending way too much on streaming services and online subscriptions. Once I cleaned that up, the difference was much bigger than I expected. Mottainai, the soul of saving. On to our second section. We've got the mindset down. So now let's dig into the emotional heart of it all. An idea that, trust me, goes way beyond just dollars and cents. And that idea is captured in one powerful word: Mottainai. Now you might see it translated as what a waste, or don't be wasteful. But honestly, that doesn't even come close. Mottainai is a feeling. It's this deep personal sense of regret, almost like a pang of shame when any resource is wasted. We're not just talking about money. It could be food, time, even your own potential. The idea of Mottainai comes from a simple yet deep principle. Everything has value on its own. That value isn't just about how useful something is. It's the idea that so many things in our lives deserve care simply because they have a purpose and are part of our daily routine. In this view, objects and nature itself aren't just disposable or neutral. We can apply this same thinking to money too. By nature, money is fleeting. It doesn't have value on its own. It only gains meaning when it's turned into time, shelter, food, or care. Still, when seen through Mottainai, money stops being something to spend without thinking and starts being treated like energy. Spending mindlessly isn't just losing money. It's wasting effort, hours of work, and future possibilities. Mottainai also moves us away from the idea that money is for proving something. Buying on impulse, or just for show, creates both emotional and financial waste. Instead, spending with intention, whether it's on a simple meal, something built to last, or taking care of someone, turns money into something that truly aligns with real life. Saving, then, stops being a rigid rule and becomes a gesture of respect. Respect for the work that earned that money, for the time it represents, and for the peace of mind it can offer down the road. Things stop being just a means to an end and start being recognized as part of a life well lived. By respecting what's with us, whether it's simple objects, nature, or our money, we cultivate a more mindful, grateful, and balanced way of being in the world. Kakebo, the Mindful Money Journal. All right, moving on to Section 3, the Mindful Money Journal. We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about the philosophy. Now it's time to get practical. Let's look at the system that brings it all to life. And that system is the Kakebo. It literally means household financial ledger, but think of it more like a mindful money journal. It's a pen and paper method. I know in our digital world, that sounds old school, but the physical act of writing is absolutely crucial. See, unlike an app that just does everything for you, Kakebo makes you slow down. It forces you to consciously engage with every single expense. The whole process is just brilliantly simple. You've got 3 steps. First, at the beginning of the month, you plan, you set your budget and your savings goals. Step 2, you spend and you track. This is where you physically write down every single purchase you make. But honestly, the real magic happens in step 3. You reflect at the end of the month. You look back at your spending and ask yourself some really important questions about your habits. That's what leads to real change. And one of the things that makes Kakebo so different is how it asks you to categorize your spending. It's built on 4 pillars. You've got your needs, the essentials. You've got your wants, the things you enjoy, but don't really need. But then there's this third category, culture. This is for things like self-improvement, books, museum tickets, concerts. And finally, you have unexpected things like medical bills or a sudden repair. See, this system makes you think about the purpose of your money, not just the raw numbers. So you might be wondering, does this old school pen and paper thing actually work? Well, let me tell you, people who stick with the Kakebo method consistently report saving up to 35% of their monthly income. That right there is the power of being mindful about your money. If you like this method, I've created a simple Kakebo planner that you can download for free. It's designed to guide you through the 30-day challenge step by step, with space for daily entries and the 4 key questions, so you can start building the habit right away. Path to mastery. Let's pull all these threads together and see how these incredible ideas create one complete system for financial well-being. So here's how it all clicks into place. You have Kenyaku, which is your big picture mindset of frugality. Then you have Mottainai, which is the emotional soul of it all, that anti-waste spirit. And finally, you have Kakebo, which is the hands-on system you use every single day to put that mindset and that soul into action. So what should you really take away from all this? First, physically writing down what you buy creates a level of awareness that apps just can't match. Second, focusing on that anti-waste spirit of Mottainai will naturally lead you to big savings. And really, the ultimate goal here is to build a more intentional relationship with your money. It's about building wealth, not just showing it off. It's a huge shift from feeling restricted to feeling intentional. And that brings us one final, really powerful question I want to leave you with. Just for a second, forget about the spreadsheets. Forget about the numbers. Just look at your habits and ask yourself, what does my spending reveal about what I truly value? Thinking about that? Well, that answer just might be the first step on your own path to mastering your money.